No betrayal cuts deeper than the kind that wears your last name. When a friend wounds you, it stings. But when it's family, it shakes your identity. The people who were supposed to protect you, understand you, stand beside you. Instead, they criticize, manipulate, undermine. And because they're family, the pain gets dismissed. You're told to forgive, to keep the peace, to stay silent. But the Stoics never said to tolerate disrespect in the name of tradition. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, but if not, I will go on my way." That includes family. Being related doesn't mean being entitled to your peace. The first step is brutal honesty. Not all family is good for you. Blood can bond, but it can also bind. And many of us live trapped in guilt, fearing we're disloyal for protecting ourselves. But boundaries are not betrayal. They are a declaration. I will not be broken in the name of belonging. Stoicism teaches us to seek harmony, not through submission, but through clarity. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your mind, your time, or your energy, especially those who violate it. If someone brings chaos to your life consistently, the Stoic does not label them family. He labels them unfit for closeness. You were taught to endure, to keep showing up, to keep giving second chances. But they're your mother. But he's your brother. But you only have one family. So you stayed. You swallowed the disrespect. You played the role. Until one day you realized, family isn't who you share a roof with. It's who protects your soul. The Stoics didn't romanticize relationships. They measured them by virtue, not title. If someone consistently brings out the worst in you, manipulates, belittles, guilt trips, you have a duty not to make it work, but to reclaim your space. Because every moment you spend justifying someone else's dysfunction is a moment stolen from your potential. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal in his own bloodline. Senators, generals, even his own son. He didn't collapse into resentment. He stood tall in his principles. "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be," he wrote. "Be one." Sometimes being that man means walking away, not in hate, but in self-respect. Forgiveness doesn't mean access, love doesn't mean tolerance, and peace doesn't require your silence. You can honor someone's humanity without surrendering to their toxicity. That's stoicism, not coldness, clarity. Most people think setting boundaries with family makes you selfish. The Stoic sees it differently. It makes you sovereign. Because peace isn't a family heirloom, it's something you build, protect, guard like a fortress. And sometimes the hardest part of growth is realizing that not everyone, even those closest to you, can come with you. It's easy to talk about self-mastery when life is smooth, but real discipline is tested in the middle of guilt, emotional traps, and old patterns. When your father tries to control you through silence, when your sister manipulates you with tears, when your mother says, "You've changed," as if staying broken would have made her proud. If any of this hits close, you're not alone, and you're not wrong for feeling it. Here, we don't just talk stoicism, we live it. That means owning your space, even when it's uncomfortable. And if you're on that path, subscribe, not to me, but to the version of you that refuses to be defined by dysfunction. Every video here is a tool, a shield, a reminder that your peace is not a negotiation, it's your right. So hit that button, walk with us, and stop asking permission to protect your soul. The Stoics taught that what matters most is your response, not your story. You may have grown up in chaos. You may have learned to shrink, to please, to survive, but none of that defines who you must be today. The fire you came from is real, but what you do with it now is what counts. When family becomes the source of your pain, the temptation is either total rejection or blind tolerance. The Stoic chooses neither. He stands in the middle, with boundaries, with compassion, and with steel in his spine. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to change their mind. You need only protect your peace and live in accordance with your values, not the guilt they built for you. Walking away isn't always physical. Sometimes it's emotional. You stop taking the bait. You stop needing approval. You stop explaining your worth to people committed to misunderstanding it. You become quietly free, not because they changed, but because you did. And sometimes the most powerful healing doesn't come from fixing the family, but from becoming the man your family never taught you to be. You don't choose the family you're born into, but you do choose the legacy you leave. You can carry the pain forward, wear the mask, keep the peace by losing yourself, or you can stop the cycle. You can become the one who breaks patterns, not repeats them. The one who shows what love without control looks like. The one who loves with boundaries, speaks with clarity, and stands without fear. The Stoics didn't teach us to abandon people at the first sign of struggle. They taught us to recognize when a struggle becomes a prison. And if that prison is built from guilt, shame, or obligation, you are allowed to walk free, not to punish, but to heal. You may lose the approval of some. You may be misunderstood, but you will gain something greater: your integrity, your clarity, your life. And the more you live from that place, the more others, maybe even those who hurt you, will see that there's another way to exist. One rooted not in control, but in self-command. So ask yourself this: if your last name wasn't involved, would you still let this person have such deep access to your mind?